The girl in the pink dress. There's an old urban legend in my town, whispered for decades, about a little girl who never grew up. They say she died in the summer of 1963 during the county fair. She had collapsed suddenly on the carousel. Doctors claimed it was some strange illness, but no one really knew. Her family, stricken with grief, buried her quickly in her favorite frilly pink dress. Some say she wasn't dead yet. The story goes that if you walk alone near the abandoned fairgrounds at night, you'll hear footsteps behind you soft, uneven like a child in patent shoes. When you turn, nothing's there. But if you keep going, she gets closer. And if she speaks to you, you must never answer. I used to laugh it off. A ghost in a pink dress sounded like small-town nonsense, but curiosity gnaws at you. And one summer night, I decided to test it for myself. The fairgrounds were nothing more than rotting wood and weeds now, the skeletons of rides rusting against the moonlight. The Ferris wheel loomed like a broken crown, and the carousel poles were bent and splintered, horses frozen mid-gallop with paint peeling from their faces. The air smelled like damp earth and mildew, thick with the buzzing of cicadas. I walked down the cracked pavement, my flashlight trembling in my hand. At first, nothing. Just the crunch of gravel beneath my shoes. Then faintly, behind me tap. Tap, tap. I froze. The night seemed to hold its breath. Slowly, I turned. Nothing, just empty shadows stretching across the rusted gates. I told myself it was an animal or my imagination. But when I started walking again, the sound returned closer this time. Tap, tap, tap. My stomach dropped. My throat went dry, and then I saw her. She couldn't have been older than 10, standing a few yards away. Her skin was pale, grayish, with shadows under her eyes. Dirt clung to the folds of her faded pink dress, once frilly, now frayed. Her head tilted unnaturally to the side, studying me with hollow curiosity. "Have you seen my mommy?" she whispered, voice thin and dry, like leaves scraping the ground. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but my legs locked in place. Her shoes scraped the pavement as she moved closer. Soil and worms trailed from her dress. "I can't find her. Will you help me?" Something deep in my gut howled asterisk, "Don't answer asterisk," but my lips betrayed me. The word slipped out before I could stop it. "No." Her expression twisted, her jaw unhinging far wider than human. Her eyes rolled white and her voice became a chorus of echoes, rising from beneath the ground itself. "Then stay with me instead." Her hand shot out, cold and rough with dirt, seizing mine. I remember her grip pulling, dragging, burying. Darkness closed in. When I woke, the sun was rising. I was lying on the fairground path, throat raw, fingernails caked with soil as though I'd been digging. Around my wrist was a pink ribbon tied in a perfect bow. No one believes me when I tell them. They laugh, say it's just a story. But sometimes, late at night, I hear it again outside my window. Tap, tap, tap. Submitted by /U or Valuable Magazine 6730 link comments. I guard a laboratory. I think they're up to something. I need a second opinion on this one. By now, I've worked as a guard at a number of different places. What that really means is I have far too much time to read and write, and I've developed a bad habit of really overdoing it with the prose. This is different and will have to be simple and fast. Hope that's okay. I recently got reassigned to a laboratory I cannot give the name of. Caught sleeping at the last place, whole thing. And I'm surprised I wasn't straight up fired because they caught me in the middle of one of my crazy dreams, and apparently I was mumbling something about goblins. Anyway, at the laboratory things work a bit different than anywhere else I've worked. 12-hour overnight shifts, me and one other guard. We take turns driving a golf cart aimlessly around the parking lot for 2 hours. I guess they want to look guarded. On the 2 hours off, they specifically want us to sleep. They want the guards to sleep. Never seen anything like it. Not in a bed or something like that, because why would it be? There's a desk at the receiving area in a corner. Scientists in white lab coats run past all night speaking mostly various Asian languages. Other workers run past speaking mostly Spanish. They really made sure I was monolingual before posting me here. Again, never seen anything like it. You'd think I'm supposed to keep an eye on all these scientists and workers, as a guard. Nope. The chair behind the desk is so much more comfortable than it looks, and for some reason I'm always so tired when I get there, and oh yeah, I was specifically instructed to doze off. So there I am, sound asleep, having all my crazy dreams while all these crazy scientists and workers run around. And if the dreams were crazy before, oh my, are they crazy now? Every dream has become the same. I'm on a bridge. Behind me, the bridge leads to a small, forested island. In front of me is, I guess, the mainland, and there are all these humanoid shadows peeking out of the jungle, all trying to cross the bridge. But as long as I watch them, they won't. I call them humanoid shadows and not shadow people because they are very much not people, whatever they are. Something about the dream is always so inexpressibly bleak. Anyway, then they wake me up and send me out on the golf cart again so the other guard can take her nap. Getting paid to sleep is a great deal, so you can't blame me for doing what I'm told and not thinking too hard about it. And this all went quite well, until one night by sheer coincidence, listening to an audiobook while driving the stupid golf cart, I learned about the Spanish word, duende. Apparently it can refer to a lot of different, I suppose, elf-like creatures. Look it up if you want, and I'm no expert, but for the purposes of this whatever this is, I'll call them goblins. I say that because after driving the golf cart that night, I went back to the sleeping desk, and could have sworn I kept hearing the worker say that word. Duende. And I came back the next night armed with an assortment of memorized words that are roughly equivalent to goblin in several Asian languages. I don't know any of these languages, and also I was wrong. A lot of them aren't even Asian, so what do I know right? But I swear I keep hearing these words. I swear, I don't know why, but all these crazy scientists and all these crazy workers seem to be talking on and on about goblins. Every night. Why? Are they just really into fantasy? And I fucking hate this question, but does it have anything to do with the dreams? Because now, every time I have those dreams of myself on the bridge watching all the humanoid shadows coming out of the jungle, I keep catching myself calling them goblins. Why goblins? And I'm not stupid. I remember what they said I was mumbling when they woke me up at that other post. And whatever these humanoid shadows are, I swear I keep seeing them out of the corner of my eye everywhere I go now. Sleep deprivation, right? My brain is getting delirious and my pattern recognition is going haywire, right? This laboratory doesn't give a shit about stupid fantasy goblins, right? But why would my brain make that up? It's so damn specific. And the dreams, the shadows, that bleakness, what do they have in this laboratory? Submitted by /u or no difficulty, 5,985, link comments. I love my mom, but she loves us too much. Imagine chewing an apple for 15 years. All of the juice evaporates, the flavor fading to numb nothing on your tongue. Then it becomes wrong, foreign, like eating something you shouldn't. The taste is gone. All that's left is the mushy, pulpy mess stuck between your teeth and you still haven't swallowed. You're still choking on that last bite you can't even remember. Was it red or green? Fresh from a tree or sitting in a grocery store? You don't know. What's left is nothing. Apple mush stuck at the back of your throat, clotted between your teeth, always there. Always fucking there. One day and you're fine. 1 month and you're sure you can dissolve it with saliva. 1 year, you've given up. 10 years and you go insane. You laugh and choke on apple. You cry and choke on apple. You sit silently like a good daughter and still choke on apple. 15 years, and thoughts no longer exist, just a non-linear blur of nothing and everything. You've thought about cutting it out. Grabbing the sharpest blade and carving unswallowed apple from your fucking mouth. You don't care about blood. Why did I pick it up that morning? You think, dizzily, why an apple? It was sitting in the fruit bowl, shiny, far too tempting. You picked it up like any other ordinary morning and took your first bite. That was the end, because now you've been choking on it for 15 fucking years, and all you want is to spit it out and scream, "Jenny, are you all right, sweetheart?" Lifting my head, I maintain my smile through a grin. I've perfected it through the years. It's not like I've had anything better to do. Mom is sitting across from me at the kitchen table, head cocked, stray blonde strands of hair dancing in her eyes. Kyan, my brother, who's been on timeout for nearly a week now, glares at me from the naughty corner by the door. He's not supposed to turn around. Mom hasn't noticed yet. My heart stutters when Mom reaches across the table, gently gripping my chin with her manicure. No, it doesn't. My heart hasn't moved for 15 years, and yet every moment felt like a panic attack. I've lost my breaths, my ability to swallow, to eat, to fucking blink. I no longer need to go to the bathroom. I can't feel sweat prickle my skin. My body has zero temperature, just a stagnant lump of flesh choking on a single piece of apple. "Jenny, is something wrong, Mom's voice is soft, gentle. I miss it. Mom knows I won't answer her question. I can't answer. I wish I could call her beautiful. I used to. When we were little kids, Mom would show us her powers, and it was magic. During bath time, she'd freeze our splashes midair, and we would squeal in delight and plunge our tiny hands through glistening blue hovering above our heads. To a 5-year-old, the ability to stop time was magical. Watching the world come to a standstill around us and able to touch it. I believed my mommy was a real princess. That was, until she used her magic on us, trapping her 3 children inside exactly 3 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. It had been 4:03 p.m. for 15 years, and I had lived through every single fucking measly not second. I smile at my mom. I love her, but she took away my ability to cry. She stripped me of my ability to swallow this goddamn apple. Why? We kept demanding. Why are you doing this to us? Mom always had the exact same answer. Because I love you. Hey, Mom? Ethan, my less insane brother sitting cross-legged on the floor, was determined to distract her. While we were frozen at the ages of 17, 19, and 20, our mental ages were somewhere in our early to late 30s. He stayed quiet and well-behaved, secretly planning our escape. Mom was always happy to talk to us when we weren't crying and screaming, or trying to cry and scream. In the corner of my eye, Kyan had successfully moved from his spot in the naughty corner and was rooting through the kitchen drawer. He was the worst affected. Kyan tried to die, but his skin didn't break and his blood didn't run. Ethan was quick to bring up a conversation, a memory all of us shared. Ethan stumbles over his words. "Do you remember going to Disneyland?" "Of course I do, darling," she hums. I watch her stand up and move toward him, reaching forward and gently pushing thick curls from his eyes. Ethan flinches as her fingers tiptoe across his forehead. He still smiles, pretends. She sighs. I froze time so my babies could have the whole park to themselves. "Mom," Ethan whispers as Kyan steps toward her with a knife. Mom doesn't turn around. She's too busy reminiscing, daydreaming. "HM, you know we love you, right?" are the last words my brother says before Kyan plunges the knife into our mother's back. For a moment, part of me wants to stop him. But then suddenly I swallow the apple. It's gone. My mouth is empty. But I don't scream. Seeping red runs across the floor, and when Mom drops dead, I can breathe again. I can think again. Sweat slicks my hands, my heart beginning to pound. To slam, we're free. The 3 of us stare at each other. Kyan smiles. Ethan jumps up and starts screaming, crying. They don't see the shadow at the door. A shadow that had been frozen at 4:03 p.m. and shoots Ethan in the head. Kyan is next, and I drop to my knees beside Mom. "Mommy," I whimper, shaking her. "Mom, take us back." Cold steel finds the back of my skull, and yet I can't stop smiling. She wasn't trapping us. She was protecting us. Mom really was a princess. Submitted by /u or trash Tia Link comments.